The bond between Chike and Obinna was formed long before they even understood the meaning of friendship. Growing up in the same village, they were like brothers. They shared everything: clothes, food, and even dreams. From as far back as I can remember, the two of them were always together, side by side, chasing after the same goals, laughing at the same jokes, and leaning on each other through the tough times. They were more than just friends. They were brothers born from different mothers. The village they came from was small, one of those places where everyone knew everyone, and news spread faster than wildfire. Chike was the older of the two, and it was clear from the beginning that he saw himself as the leader. He was tall and confident, always thinking a few steps ahead. Obinna, on the other hand, was a bit more reserved, more thoughtful. He followed Chike's lead, trusting that his friend always knew what was best for them. They were a perfect match: Chike, the bold and daring one, and Obinna, the quiet, steady presence who kept things balanced. Their lives in the village were simple. They helped their families with the farm work, went to the small school when they could, and spent their free time dreaming about the future. But one dream stood out above all the others: escaping the poverty that had gripped their families for generations. They talked endlessly about how they would one day become rich, how they would lift their families out of hardship and provide for their aging parents. It was this shared dream that brought them to the decision that would change their lives forever. News had reached the village that a wealthy trader in Onitsha, a bustling town far from their small village, was looking for apprentices. Master Noji, as the man was called, had built a reputation for himself as one of the most successful merchants in the region. He was known not just for his wealth but for his fairness. It was said that after 5 years of hard work, he would settle his apprentices, giving them the capital and connections they needed to start their own businesses. For Chike and Obinna, this was the chance they had been waiting for. 5 years of service in exchange for the promise of a better future was a small price to pay. The decision was made. Together, they would leave the village and journey to Onitsha, ready to begin their apprenticeship under Master Noji. The journey to Onitsha was long and tiring, carrying with them only the essentials: some food, water, and a few clothes. The road was rough, filled with the heat of the sun, but through it all, they kept each other company, their spirits high with the excitement of what lay ahead. When they finally arrived in Onitsha, the difference between the bustling town and their quiet village was overwhelming. The streets were packed with people, traders shouting to attract customers, the smells of spices and cooked food filling the air. For a moment, they were lost in the chaos of it all, unsure of where to go or what to do next. But with determination and a bit of luck, they found their way to Master Noji's shop. The shop was located in the heart of the market, a large building that stood out among the others with its grand appearance. Inside, the shelves were stacked high with all sorts of goods: cloth, spices, cooking oil, palm wine, and everything in between. It was here that Master Noji greeted them for the first time. He was a large man, his belly round from years of good living, but his eyes were sharp, always observing. He looked them up and down before nodding in approval. "You two will do," he said simply, and that was how their apprenticeship began. For the first few months, life under Master Noji was tough but manageable. They were up before dawn, sweeping the shop, arranging the goods, learning how to bargain with customers, and running errands all over the market. The work was exhausting, but it didn't bother them too much. They knew that this was the price they had to pay for the future they dreamed of. Master Noji was a fair man, but he was also strict. If they made a mistake, they were scolded, sometimes harshly, but they knew it was for their own good. Chike, being the older of the two, quickly took on the role of senior apprentice. He assumed more responsibilities, often managing the shop when Master Noji was away. At first, this didn't bother Obinna. He trusted Chike, believed in his leadership, and was content to follow in his friend's footsteps. But as time went on, something began to change. Chike's confidence, which had once been a strength, started to grow into arrogance. He began to act as though the shop was already his, making decisions without consulting Master Noji or even Obinna. He also started to cut corners. At first, it was small things, keeping a little extra change from a customer here, overcharging another customer there. Obinna noticed but didn't say anything at first. He figured that Chike knew what he was doing. After all, they were in this together, right? But as the years passed, Chike's dishonesty grew bolder. He would hide away money from the sales, sometimes large amounts, thinking that Master Noji wouldn't notice. It's just business, Chike would say with a sly smile when Obinna questioned him. We need to think about ourselves. Obinna, you think Master Noji is going to settle us equally? No way. I'm older. I deserve more. And if he doesn't give it to us, at least we'll have something of our own. Obinna didn't agree. He believed in hard work and honesty. He couldn't shake the feeling that what Chike was doing was wrong, but he didn't know how to convince his friend. Chike, we should be grateful for what we have, Obinna would say, but Chike always brushed him off. As the 5th year of their apprenticeship approached, the tension between the two friends grew. Chike became more secretive, more obsessed with his schemes. He stopped sharing his plans with Obinna, and the bond they once had began to weaken. Obinna, on the other hand, remained focused on his work, winning more and more trust from Master Noji, though he didn't realize it at the time. Finally, the day of their settlement arrived. It was a day they had both been waiting for, though with very different expectations. Chike had spent the night before dreaming of the wealth and power he believed he would receive. He was sure that, as the senior apprentice, Master Noji would give him the larger share. After all, he had been the one running the shop most of the time, the one making the important decisions. But Obinna had no such expectations. He was nervous, unsure of what would happen, but trusting that whatever Master Noji decided, it would be fair.